Hello. So today all we're going to do is a quick channeled message. I have put myself into state, so I'm just going to, get real weird here. If you notice any eyelids fluttering or whatnot, that's just how it goes. And we're just going to see what is coming through. So I guess my intention, since this just came to my mind, is essentially the world and what is going on in the world right now. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, first of all, the word caring is coming to mind. Okay, so I'm seeing other people caring for other people. So this would be assisting neighbors, it's really just helping other people. And this is a big community, a group that comes together and assists those in need, helping with providing services like food and water support, but mostly loving and caring kindness. And this is generous souls that are here on earth right now, incarnated specifically for this period of time of transition. So the world is in a transitional state here. So I'm seeing 2024, 2025. This is the year of transition. So there will be many big events. Climactic changes. I don't really want to say too much, so I'm just going to ask. Okay, they're telling me not to skip this. Things will be coming to fruition that has been put into the consciousness by essentially the governments and the people that hold power. Now, there will be several of us, you and me, who are aware of the reason why what is going to happen in 24 and 25, why it is happening. This is not because they predicted it and they said, oh, these things are happening and now it's coming to fruition. This is because the belief of the collective consciousness. They believed in what was being said about these climate changes, the weather situations. There was belief that was put in it, and so it has been manifested and created, and we will see the fruition. It will come to fruition in 24, 25. So those of us who are aware, who hear, and who see and who know how our actions and our words and our thoughts, when spoken and acted upon and created, essentially go out into the vibrational frequency of the universe and are then returned to us as manifestations. So those who are still asleep, who are refusing to wake up, because now there has been opportunities for them to wake up and they have chosen not to, for various and a variety of reasons. So those of us who are awake will be very aware of this and what it is that's going on, and it will be us, you and me, who are creating a new consciousness in this new 5D world that we are going to be living in. And we are creating an era of love and peace, and our every loving thought is creating that era of love and peace. And so those who refuse to turn off their television programming, because it's programming, and continue to stare at it. I'm just seeing news networks, advertising these horrific things, and people sitting there staring at them and absorbing it and believing it. Because if you are not resisting it and saying, no, that's not happening, then you're believing it essentially, and it is being created. So all of the things that are going to be happening in the world are our manifestations. So some of us who were awake earlier, a couple years ago, and who saw the evil things that were going on in the world. We woke up. But here's the issue with this. So, those of us who have woken up, some of us have gone from the waking up stage, which we all needed, and we must go through this process of waking up and learning the truth about our world, its existence, and the evil that has been instilled into the world. We needed to know about this. It needed to have our consciousness attention for the precious moments that it had it, so that we could be awake and aware, so that we could change it. But now that we have been awakened, we've woken up, we must completely shift our attention onto another, different, more beneficial way of being. And so I can see this longing. There's this longing that people have inside of them to be at a peaceful and loving state and place in the world, which is very heavenly. You know, it's something that our souls are very, very familiar with. And so there are people whose souls are being drawn to this. These people were awakened over the last couple of years. So all of the things that happened with, you know, COVID, I don't even want to say that on here. All the things that happened with that were such a necessary evil, were such a necessary thing to wake people up. And those people who chose to woke up early on won't have to suffer as long as those who haven't woken up even yet. Now, what do I mean when I'm saying waking up? Those of you who are listening, you already know what I'm talking about. Do I need to elaborate on this? Yes. Okay. So waking up is a process of becoming aware of our souls, the entities around us, and becoming aware of the process of good and bad, right and wrong. And it's also seeing an acceptance and awareness that the evil, the bad that went on during this time is also loving, because it has led us, it leads us, and it is leading us to a loving earth, to a loving existence. So we needed that. Had we not had that evil and that bad, which essentially the root of it is love, even though it, you know, at the time it was fear that we were running off of. But because the root of it is all loving, there is massive forgiveness that needs to be perpetuated outwards towards all of the people who were behind this bad and evil, the acts, the things that have been going on and that they've been doing. There's massive forgiveness needed, because the process that we are, you know, we're in that transitioning process right now into this new earth. Massive forgiveness is needed so that we don't carry any of that old karmic energy, and that we can really appreciate it and see it for what it is. The bad that you have gone through in your life has been such a necessary step to get you to where you're at now, which is a space of growth, of inner work and growth, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all that. It has been very necessary. But in this new earth that we are creating an era of love and peace. And so there cannot be any hate, there can't be any resentment, there can't be any lower vibrational energies and frequencies in it, because those will perpetuate forwards, and we will end up in the same mess that we were in before. And so those of you who are hearing this, most of you that are listening to this, you already know this, that we are creating something different. So the most important thing that you can do is the inner work to find that freedom within yourself so that you can transition forward with this move that is going to be happening, this earth transition that is going to be happening. Because if those things haven't been resolved, let's say that the new earth is here and we're currently right here. If your vibrational level isn't matching up here, then you're not going to make that transition all the way up. And the way that we do that is by cleansing our consciousness. And forgiveness is a huge one. I'm seeing guilt and resentment, traumas, healing past traumas. So this is a cleansing of our consciousness. I believe that this is why I made that mental cleanse series, that this is why I have that inner freedom formula that I help people to work through, because I have done that inner work and I have experienced the freedom of it myself. And this was the process that led me to the enlightenments that I have and that I now have daily, because all of that past trauma has been cleared away. And it can seem overwhelming and like a lot of work for those, but prioritizing yourself and your mental well-being and making the time for yourself to essentially save yourself, so that this transitioning process can be a lot much easier for everyone involved. So this helping is really a community of people coming together to help during this transitioning period. Okay, so I'm just asking for any other messages. The world changes. The world change is coming. Acceptance of that is essential to the transition that is happening, and it has happened in the past. This has happened. Yes, this has happened several times in the past, throughout previous centuries. Resets. They're known as resets. Now, why do we need these resets? Oh. It just says prioritizing mental health matters. And to start over, the programming essentially that we have now has been massively contaminated through television programming, TV programming, through advertisements. I'm seeing magazines and billboards. I'm seeing all of it here. And this has had a massive impact on the collective consciousness, all of this. So this in the future is something that we won't have. Options for other technologies that are better and that are more censored, but at the same time made with loving consciousness. That will be what replaces the old system, the old TV programming. And then in our new earth, we won't be creating collectively the things that we created before from the programming. That I'm seeing 78% of people unknowingly are participating in this collective consciousness, essentially evil agenda, totally unknowingly. They have no idea of the impact of just watching and participating in this collective consciousness experiment, because it is experimental. So this programming in the past has been very lively, and experiences have varied widely. This is the first time a collective consciousness experiment has been done on such a mass scale because of the population of the planet and because almost everyone has a television programming set in their home. So this is why that's the first time it's been on such a mass scale. which is why in 2024 and 2025, the impact, the climate change impact is going to be visibly seen. Now, here is the issue. The TV programmers are going to explain this by saying we were right. But they know, not necessarily the people who are working and doing those jobs don't know, but the people behind it are very aware of what is going on. And this really is an experience of an experiment to see the results of it. And those who have been in charge of this programming, there's no care. There's no care. There isn't any care at all in these evil people. But we must essentially be the bigger person and forgive them. We're taking their power away by forgiving them and by setting them in their rightful place, which is not as leaders, because we don't want leaders who have evil agendas, and there is no place for them in the new world, and they won't be with us as we transition into this new earth, in this new state of being. So healing past traumas, getting a hold on the emotions that are there, forgiveness, acceptance. We need to be prioritizing that, and courage and strength is here for us all. I'm just going to check and see our team of guides. So how many people? Oh, there's really not that many of us right now who are even going to be watching or seeing this, but it's enough, because it's what is needed right now at this moment in time, is just a group of belief. Okay, so I am also seeing that for every person, you and me, one of us, for every one of us, it's actually like having 100, because our beliefs are so cleansed and so clear that the resonance, the high vibrational frequency resonance that we send out is equal to that of 100 people with essentially evil TV programming, consciousness, unknowingly. They're just unknowingly living in this reality, which we need to not condemn them for it, because they chose this. They're choosing it for themselves, and we can choose anything that we want for ourselves too. So we need to remember to accept that, and not everyone wants to be a part of this transitioning in the world. So climate change is going to be happening and visible rapidly. And so what we must do, you and me must do about this, is to, anytime that these things are happening or going on, or we are out assisting people during these events, and just so you know, we are divinely protected. So not even one of us is going to be affected personally by that, because it's actually not in our world. And me speaking about this, I don't even want to be speaking the words that I've been speaking about, the planet and what it's going to be doing, because we are not creating that collectively, but we are very aware of that. And so anytime that one of these events happens in 2024, 2025, a thing that we can do is to take ourselves into deep meditation, and we can connect to each other. So I am doing that right now to you, and it's to me that this just kind of looks like a light that is bouncing from one to another, which is why I see about 120 people in this. And all we're going to do is connect to each other, imagine that connection, and then just see an era of love and peace. So the world is just filled with lush fruit trees and vegetables. There's peace between us and the animals. There's no worry and fear. Like, you could go up to an animal, a deer is what I'm seeing, in the middle of a field, and they're not going to have any fear about you because we are creating an era of love and peace. And so love and peace has to be in every element, not just, you know, the ones that feel that we want to have them in. It's actually in every element. So as we connect to each other, seeing that peace, seeing the world lush, all of the people that are left, taking care of these people, we all come together in a beautiful and harmonious way. It's just a unity that is there. So thank you. That is the channeled message for today. Holy cow, that was 20 minutes. I thought it was about 5. Sorry about that. Anyways, I love you guys all. We're all here for each other. So if you guys get any messages or even any insights about this, you could maybe meditate on what I was saying. And see what you get. If there's something that you want to add to it, add it in the comments, let me know. But we've got this. Everything that is going to be happening for us is for us. It's happening for a reason. It's happening because it's supposed to be happening the way that it's happening. Anyways, I love you guys. This is the channeled message for today. I hope y'all have the most wonderful day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.